if you're sophisticated enough to download porn, you can.
Yeah, exactly. If I can ejaculate from it, I'm not interested.
Now because it's the same thing sexy.
Yeah, exactly. It's stuff that I can use.
And what is going on with your weight now? It seems like you Green Hornet, you got super thin.
Yep.
And now it seems
I evened out.
yeah, you're not fat anymore.
No.
But you put back a little bit. Yeah, you were weirdly thin.
Yeah, I was weirdly. I actually I tried out a suit that I had at that time, and it was like fucking ludicrous that I was over that small. Like I finally got that it got a little weird by the size of this old suit. And I was looking at it like, really? Like this one, like my bones don't seem like they fit in it. Like it was fucking weird.
So after Ali G, and that show ends after 6 months, and you've had this job in show business where you're a writer.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you think it's all over? They fired you, or I guess the show
No, the
just
show
ended?
just ended. No, we got nominated for Emmys, which actually made us seem like we might keep working.
What was the next job then?
The next job was 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, so that changed things.
Yeah, that
So that got super bad name.
40-year-old virgin got knocked up late. And they have those kind of happen right quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Smith, the director, credits you for getting his career back in line because I guess he had stopped smoking pot. You sat him down and said, "What are you fucking crazy? You should be smoking pot." I opened you up creatively.
It was not that deliberate.
He took your advice, and before you know it, his career felt like it was flourishing. So he says he has you to thank for opening up his career from Hollywood.
Well, that is very nice.
And you really think the marijuana is,
I think some people should smoke weed, and there's some people I bet who should not smoke weed.
I gotta tell you, I mean, you are slowly becoming the one major voice, the proponent of pot in this country. It probably...
in a good way, you know, mostly it's people who aren't doing well who say, come on,
Yeah,
give me my
exactly.
weed.
Because at this point in your career,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure that there are some pretty highly paid publicists who sit me down and say, "Seth, enough talking about pot."
I'm sure my publicist is laughing his fucking ass off at the thought of that right now. No, they don't give a shit. They don't say anything. I mean, because they don't know it's fucking bullshit. Like, they don't, like, it's fucking so stupid that pot's illegal, and it's like, I stopped subscribing to it.
You know what I mean? People in Hollywood, the old axiom was that if people in show business do not want to do business with people who openly do drugs because, you know, they have to get financing for a movie, they can't depend on people who do drugs, so it's better to keep that stuff very quiet. So even if the publicists are doing it, they'd be the first to say to you, "Would you shut your fucking mouth?" Right? I can't believe you haven't gotten out of that trip at least once.
No, you know what's funny is when I was promoting Green Hornet, the only time I've come close to it is when I was promoting Green Hornet, Sony asked me not tell too many weed stories. And I said, I don't think I can keep doing that. And that's all I want to tell you. Exactly. It's kind of my only fucking thing that I can talk about.
Are you still smoking a ton of weed, or have you calmed down?
No, I still
You smoke Did you smoke this morning before you came out?
No,
You did? Which tour?
What time do you use it?
yeah, hopefully before the Today Show.
Before Saturday Night Live, did you smoke a little weed to relax?
That day I had.
You did? Oh, you managed. I couldn't. I am so neurotic. First of all, I can't smoke weed because of you. You know how you said there's some people who should.
Some people that should. I don't think everyone should. I'm not a proponent of everyone.
I had to do Saturday Night Live. Wish it's going to be all. I go try to take a nap. I go blah, 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 blah. I had a laundry list of things to do, and you're sitting there laughing because you don't get nervous that way. You don't get neurotic.
Well, again, I have one line. The times I hosted the show, I actually didn't smoke it. Like, that was one of those things that I probably should have smoked weed.
You now have a medical license for marijuana?
What do you
Now, does that work outside of California, number one? Here's my license.
Did you carry your medicine? But did you carry your medicine into New York?
No, but I figured I could get one good, like, clean ignorance out of it at least. I figured, like, one good bust.
Yeah.
I've never been busted. The crazy is, like, all I think is, like, the amount of weed I smoke versus the amount of other stupid fucking people who are famous who got caught with weed. It's, like, mind-blowing.
It is mine.
I've never been caught with shit. Crazy, man.
But in California, you can smoke whatever you want because you have a license to smoke.
Yeah.
And what is your ailment?
I have, what's the list? It was anxiety and insomnia. I can't sleep, man.
Now, do you have to,
Can't think about weed, man.
how long does it last that you have this license?
A year.
A year, so you have to re-up.
From The Wire.
You must be starting yourself. Did you can open a store with packages of marijuana?
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
There's a lot. I like the Kush family of marijuanas.
Right.
There is a Pineapple Express weed there. You get told this before the movie, so I feel an obligation to buy it just to make sure the quality gets good.
And marijuana hasn't fully cured you yet of all your ailments?
Chronic?
Close.
You're thinking you might even get another prescription?
I think I might need to get another prescription.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm getting close though.
Tell me about, I gotta ask you about this. By the way, we're here to celebrate the movie 50/50, which I've seen and I love. And I'm not saying it in a Jay Leno kind of bullshit way. I'm telling you the truth. If I didn't love it, I would just say, hey, I didn't see the movie.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I'm telling you, I saw it and it's fucking killer.
And I need to tell you that like, in all honesty, there's a scene in Private Parts where you make jokes about your wife having a miscarriage. And honestly, like that scene I saw, when did that movie come out?
Like 12 years ago.
Something.
Yeah, like I must have been like,
97.
yeah, I mean, so I was like, 15 years old when I saw that
That's when the movie was made?
and I was doing stand-up comedy. And honestly, like that moment, like really influenced me as a comedian. And I think is one of the reasons I even thought it was a good idea to make a movie like this.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, because it's such an unusual. Thank you for that, because it's not your typical movie. People don't make comedies about cancer. In fact, no, those ideas usually die when you go, hey, let's make a movie about this because it's kind of funny, and then you go, wait, cancer, fuck you.
Exactly, but I really remember watching that, and like, I mean, in the movie, it's such a, like, it's the moment where you're fucking, let your honesty, meet your creativity, and everyone responds to it, and I think, like, I really connected to that, and I still think about it all the time, and I honestly think it's one of the reasons that we even thought it would be a good idea for Will to write this movie.
In a weird way, I kind of think that this is such a helpful movie because if anyone does suffer from a disease, not just cancer, I think it would make healthy people sort of look at that and go, you know what, it might be a nice thing for me not to be so caught up in myself and maybe help someone out. I might actually be great to do it.
Well, maybe it would help you because you actually were talking about, what was her name? The woman who just died of breast cancer.
I don't know.
She was the daughter of the vice president, Eleanor Mondale. And you said you called her and you kept trying to ask about her disease, and she doesn't want to talk about it.
No one really wants to confide in me when they have a disease. In fact, I just called another friend of mine who just got cancer, and I called him for him to confide in me, and he just was like, goodbye. That was the end of it. They don't want to confide. You want to know, like, I must send out the line that, like, I'm really not going to get to. That's why I admire you, honestly, because you did get him up. Tell me that now that you get more and more famous, you get more and more successful. Why are you laughing at that?
It's a funny thing you say it.
But you had a meeting, which I would think would be very good stuff, with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Yeah. Right?
Wow! And you put them together?
How did you get that meeting, and what was that about?
Well, George Lucas wasn't supposed to be at the meeting. Steven Spielberg called. He wanted to meet with me and Evan about potentially producing some movies that they had ideas for or something like that.
Now that's interesting to me. He certainly is capable of producing a movie without you. So is it the idea that he wants to produce a movie so you'll be in the movie?
No, I think DreamWorks themselves were just saying at that time they didn't have a lot of. I think sometimes the studio has more scripts than they have people they trust to oversee the making of those.
I see. So the meeting was, hey, Seth Rogen, right? Sit down with us. We're going to take all our projects that we have, and we'd like to assign a few of these to you.
Yeah, maybe you guys can oversee the making of them.
And we'll be partners and then financially, and we'll see how it goes. Wow. That's a good fucking tap on the goddamn shoulder.
And then you walk in
We did it too.
But why did you end up not doing it?
In all honesty, we just didn't respond to any ideas that much.
Would you get high before a meeting like that? You probably did. Trek was way better than Star Wars because Star Wars didn't have any good stories, like it wasn't like there was no relationships or anything like that. So he has declared that Star Trek is superior. Do you agree with this?
I was honestly more of a Star Trek fan than Star Wars.
Me too. I agree with Shaq.
Yeah.
The Shaq has got it right.
Shaq on their faces.
Movie was great. And there were relationships between Leia and Luke and the
Went down.
come on.
Yeah, right. So you're sitting there with
Harrison Ford's character.
You're sitting there with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Yeah. Very surreal.
So Lucas starts talking about some weird shit.
He starts talking about how he, and from my perspective, it seems completely genuine. I cannot iterate that enough. Completely without a shred of irony.
Okay.
That he thought the world was going to end in the year 2000.
He didn't believe it.
And he went on to explain in great detail how the